Hello, boys and girls. This is Dominique from PerfectGC, and today I'm going to talk about a topic which has been back in the news once again. And before I even start, I know that for most of us, this topic is annoying. It's kind of dead beat, like beating a dead horse, and that's the violent video games, and also the ESRB rating, which I know, well, I'm gonna say, ERCB rating, or tells you what's in the game and what age is acceptable to play this game and such. It's just like the rating for movies, like rated R, rated um PG-13, stuff like that. So anyway, um, so people have been talking about how, once again, how violent video games cause people to be violent, and for me it's so frustrating because I don't see the link between the the violent video games and people being violent in real life. Um, And with everything that's been happening mostly in America recently, those people have had, they have been mentally unstable. And I would assume people would be smart enough not to let them play violent video games or watch anything violent because they're not mentally stable. And, for me and probably some of y'all play violent video games, and y'all know the difference between that this all that isn't acceptable in real life. you know just like for a Call of Duty, you shoot people. Like, it's better to like kill people on a virtual um video game rather than real life. I hope we can agree on that. And out of all the mediums in media, I think it's safe to say that video games is like the redheaded. Well, I won't say that. It's the it's the least understood, least accepted. Cause okay, you have like movies, books, music, and then you have video games, and people just say get out of there. Like they don't really care. They don't take video games seriously. Like, they don't see it, especially for the ESRB rating. Like, a lot of people look at that and like they don't really care. And then when unfit parents like buy their kids video games, violent video games at that, and then when their kids start being violent, they want to point the blame at the video game company for making these violent video games that have violence in it. And I know I'm not the only one who has been playing any game online. I've heard children on the mics, cussing and doing other stuff that gets irritating and whatnot. And so, it kind of begs the question, well, where are the parents at? Because honestly, for me, like, it's always been like a parenting issue. Like, you should, if it's that serious, don't let your kids play violent video games. And I also know that, some of the stuff that happens in our video game community, industry, whatnot, um, some, like, recently with the whole Dead Island Riptide collector's edition with the severed off woman's body, she's all bloodied up and limbs are chopped off, but the boobs are clean. There's nothing with that. So something like that's bad marketing. And we already had the meeting with Joe Biden, and it's like, could you come out with something so wrong at the wrong time? And I'm pretty sure like something else, something more like something stupid compared to that is gonna gonna happen, because that's always that happens apparently. And you know, not everyone, but some gamers do like get really, defensive about like certain things, and I totally understand that because I felt that way before in the past. But it's good to talk about it and not, just like get in your shell and like, oh, well, books and movies have this and blah 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 and stuff like that. And I totally get that. And my thing is, video games haven't really been out for that many years, honestly. And violence is part of, human genetics. Like, we've had that aggression in us, and it just, it boggles me how we have to, blame something for, things that happen in thing messed up things that happen in, the US or the world in general. Because before then, we had wars, we had, people killing each other. They didn't play video games. They probably didn't watch any violent movies. They didn't listen to rap or rock or any so-called violent music, or, maybe they didn't read a violent book, because books can be violent, but apparently people don't really see that. But, like, I know it's out there, but like Hitler, he didn't play like Call of Duty and say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that." No, he didn't. It was part of his genetics. It's just, George Washington, he killed people. These people killed people because not saying like the killing mentality is in their genetics, but the aggression, that masculinity, well, or women can be violent as well too. But what I'm saying is, it's always been a part of our genetics, and we shouldn't be going around blaming stuff. We really shouldn't. And when people like always seem to use video games as a scapegoat, that really ticks me off, because it's violence has already been there. The simple fact is, sometimes people kill other people. It's just a part of life, sadly. And it's it's just that's how it is. That's how it truly is. And going with the ESRB rating, we would have thought that this issue may have resolved things, but it hasn't. The ESRB is there, and majority of people really don't care for it. They don't take it seriously. They say like, oh, violence, oh, blood and gore, oh, I'm still gonna get this to my kid because he wants it. Little Jimmy wants it, or Billy, or John, or Marcus, or little Susie or Cynthia. You get the picture. Like, the parents still give their kids the violent video games because they want it, and then where their kids start acting up all crazy and stuff, that, the video games did it. The video game companies. Let's ban them. Let's do all that, and that's not right. You shouldn't be trying to blame. That's my whole issue, is like, no one in the world, well, I won't say that, majority of people in our society, in our culture, in the United States, in the world in general, like, just don't seem to take any responsibility anymore. No responsibility at all. They just want to play the blame game. They want to jump down one's throat and just accuse, like, who's the true mastermind of these plots and stuff like that. So that's what I want to talk about. I didn't want to make this video too long, but yeah. So, tell me what you honestly think. Like, is there a connection between violent video games and, violent behavior in real life? Honestly, I don't see the connection, but maybe people out there think, or I mean, it's your opinion. I'm not gonna hate on your opinion because everyone's entitled to their opinion, no matter how outlandish it is. But yeah, and then the ESRB rating. Why do you think no one really takes it seriously? And yeah, so this has been Dominique Perfect from Perfect GC, and yeah, peace out.